SQL interview questions and answers 141 to 150. Question number 141. What is purpose of OPENXML Clause SQL Server stored procedure? The OPENXML clause in SQL Server stored procedure is used to provide a row set view of XML documents similar to a table or a view. It allows access to XML data as though it is a relational row set. This clause can be used in transact SQL statements where row set provides such as a table, view, or the open row set function can appear. The OPENXML clause retrieves information from an XML document as a row set with a specific structure. The structure is defined by XML schema or a schema inferred from the XML document. The retrieved data can then be used in a stored procedure, query, or any other transact SQL statement as if it were a normal row set. This makes it possible to combine the data from XML documents with data from relational tables and use it in database operations. For example, in a stored procedure, the OPENXML class can be used to retrieve data from XML documents and insert it into a database table and convert it into an XML document for output. In summary, the purpose of OPENXML class in SQL Server stored procedure is to provide a way to handle XML data as if it were a table or a view and to allow its integration with relational data. Question number 142. How to store PDF file in SQL Server? To store a PDF file in SQL Server, you can use a var binary column in a table to hold the binary data of a file. Here are some methods to achieve this. Using open row set. You can use the open row set function in SQL Server to insert a PDF file into a var binary column of a table. Here is an example SQL that does demonstrate this. SQL that this is code create table PDF test PDF data var binary max you put here size, declare @file path varchar 100, set @file path is equal to, we set the path here where our PDF file is located, insert into PDF test PDF data and select all from open row set bulk @file path comma single blob as blob. Uploading in binary form. In a win form, you can upload the PDF file in binary form and then store it in a binary column of table. Saving PDF file in SQL using ASP.NET web page. You can also save the PDF file in SQL Server using an ASP.NET web page where the user uses a form view connected to a SQL data source to enter values and attach the saved PDF file to the scanned PDF file field. A grid view can then show the result from scanned PDFs table, allowing the user to select a row and view the saved PDF file. Overall, there are several ways to store PDF files in SQL Server, and the method chosen would depend on the requirement of application or system. Question number 143. Explain the use of keyword with inscription. Create a stored procedure with encryption. The keyword with inscription in SQL Server is used to encrypt the source code of stored procedure, views, triggers, and functions. This can be useful in situations where you want to protect the intellectual property of your SQL Server object or prevent unauthorized access to the code. When you create an object with objects or prevent unauthorized access to code when you create an object with the with encryption option. SQL Server will convert the original text of the code to an encrypted format. This means that users who do not have access to system tables or database files cannot retrieve the original text of code. Here is an example of creating a stored procedure with encryption. This is SQL code. Create procedure dbu.myproc with inscription as begin. Your stored procedure code goes here and then end. In this example, we are creating a stored procedure called myproc and specifying with inscription option to encrypt the source code. You can also encrypt an existing stored procedure by altering it with encryption option. This is SQL code alter procedure dbu.myproc with inscription as begin stored procedure code. You write it here then end. Once you have encrypted your stored procedure, you can view the encrypted code in SQL Server Management Studio by right-clicking on Stored Procedure and selecting Script Stored Procedure as. Alter to New Query Editor window. The resultant script will contain the encrypted code. It's worth noting that while encryption can help protect your SQL Server objects, it's not foolproof. There are third-party tools available that can be used to decrypt encrypted objects, and there is also the risk of encryption key being compromised. Therefore, it's important to consider other security measures in addition to encryption, such as access control and auditing. Question number 144. What is log escalation? Log escalation is the process of converting many fine-grained logs such as row or page logs to table logs in Microsoft SQL Server. The decision to escalate logs is dynamically determined by SQL Server based on number of logs held by a particular scan and the number of logs held by entire transaction, among other factors. Log escalation typically occurs only at those times when it would improve performance or when excessive system log memory needs to be reduced to a more reasonable level. SQL Server's default behavior is designed to cause log escalation only when necessary, but some application or query designs might trigger log escalation at a time when this action is not desirable, and the escalated table log might block other users. To prevent log escalation, several strategies can be used, such as breaking up large batch operation into several smaller operations and reducing the query's log footprint by making query as efficient as possible. Disabling log escalation is possible, but it is not recommended. Instead, using prevention strategies is suggested. Question number 145. What is failover clustering overview? Failover clustering is a technology that allows a group of independent computers called nodes to work together to increase availability and scalability of clustered roles or applications and services. These nodes are connected to each other physically and through software, and if one or more of the nodes fail, the other nodes in the cluster take over their workloads in a process known as failover, either with minimal or no downtime. Failover clustering is a solution that offers increased scalability, easier management, faster failure, and more flexible architecture for failover cluster. It supports various functionalities that are new or changed in Windows Server 2012 R2 and Windows Server 2012. To use failover clustering, the hardware components in failover cluster solution must meet the qualification for the certified. For Windows Server 2012 below, the solution must also have storage attached to nodes in cluster if it is using a shared storage, and the device controller or appropriate adapter must be installed and configured correctly. To add the failover clustering feature, you can use Add Roles feature wizard in Server Manager. The failover clustering tools, including Failover Clustering Manager, snap in the failover clustering Windows PowerShell CMD lets the cluster aware updating CAU user interface, and Windows PowerShell CMD lets and related tools are included. Overall, failover clustering provides an efficient way of improving availability and scalability of clustered roles and applications with easy management and fast failover capabilities. Question number 146. What is built-in administrator? In Windows operating system, the built-in administrator account is the first account created when operating system is installed. This account has full access and control over the system, including availability to install and uninstall software, modify system settings, and create and manage a user account. Windows 10 and 11 restrict access to certain files and commands behind administrative privileges and typically prompt for permission before allowing access to such tasks. To enable the built-in administrator account in Windows 10 or 11, one can use either command prompt or PowerShell with administrative privileges and type net user administrator active yes. It is recommended to set a password for the account to protect the system. In some cases, the sysprep tool may reset the built-in administration account password when running the sysprep generalized command, but this only applies to server editions of windows. Question number 147. What XML support does the SQL Server extend? SQL Server provides a powerful platform for developing rich applications for semi-structured data management and offers built-in support for XML in various ways. XML values can be stored natively in an XML data type column that can be typed according to a collection of XML schemas, and XML is integrated into all components in SQL Server. SQL Server uses the same locking mechanism for both XML and non-XML data, and therefore row level locking causes all XML instances in the row to be locked. The granularity of XML data stored in XML column is important for locking and updates. SQL Server rejects schemas that use an empty string as a value for a namespace attribute. Instead, SQL Server requires the explicit use of local to indicate an unqualified elements or attribute an instance of wildcard character. SQL Server does not support restricting a mixed type to a simple content. Question 148. Difference between primary key and foreign key. A primary key and foreign key are both important concepts in relational databases, but they serve different purposes. A primary key is a column or a set of columns in a table that uniquely identifies each row of table. A foreign key, on the other hand, is column or set of columns in one table that refer to primary key in another table, establishing a relationship between two tables. Here are some key differences between primary key and foreign key. Purpose. The purpose of primary key is to ensure data in a specific column is unique and to identify each row in a table. The purpose of a foreign key is to create a relationship between two tables by referencing the primary key in another table. Uniqueness. Second, a primary key must contain unique values and cannot contain null values. In contrast, a foreign key can contain duplicate values and can also contain null values if it is defined as a nullable column. Relationship. A primary key establishes a relationship between the data within the same table, whereas a foreign key establishes a relationship between two different tables. A foreign key references the primary key in another table to create a link between the two tables. Constraint. Primary keys are defined as unique and non-null constraint, while foreign keys are defined as a referential integrity constraints. In summary, a primary key is a unique identifier for a row in a table, while a foreign key establishes a relationship between two tables by referencing primary key of another table. Both primary key and foreign key plays a crucial role in maintaining integrity and consistency of data in relational database. Question number 149. SQL query to find second highest salary of employee. To find the second highest salary of employee in SQL, there are multiple approaches. One approach is to use order by clause with the DESC, that is descending keyword, to sort the salaries in descending order, and then use the limit keyword to return the second highest salary. For example, the following SQL query can be used to find second highest salary from employee table. So this is SQL code: select salary from employee, order by salary, descending, limit 1, 1. This query will return the second highest salary from employee table. If there is no second highest salary, the query will return null. Another approach is to use subquery to find second highest salary. For example, the following query can be used to find the second highest salary from the employee table. SQL code. This is SQL code: select max salary from employee, where salary, select max salary is smaller than select max salary from employee. This query will return the second highest salary from employee table. If there is no second highest salary, the query will return null. There are also approaches to find the nth highest salary of an employee in SQL. One approach is to use the limit keyword with an offset and count to return the nth highest salary. For example, the following SQL query can be used to find the nth highest salary from an employee table. And this is that SQL code: select salary from employees, order by salary, descending, limit n-1, 1. This query will return the nth highest salary from employees table. If there is no nth highest salary, the query will return null. Another approach to use the top keyword in SQL Server. For example, the following SQL query can be used to find the nth highest salary from an employee table. This is the code. Select top 1 salary from. Select distinct top n salary from employees. Order by salary descending as EMP. Order by salary. This query will return the nth highest salary from employee table. If there is no nth highest salary, the query will return null. Overall, there are multiple ways to find the second highest salary or nth highest salary of an employee in SQL. The choice of approach depends on specific requirements and database system being used. Question number 150. SQL query to find max salary from each department. To find the max salary from each department in a SQL database, there are several approaches you can take. The different window functions can be used depending on your needs. Here are some solutions from the provided session. Using the in keyword with a subquery. This solution uses a subquery to get maximum salary for each department, then uses the in keyword to select the rows that matches those values. The query looks like this. Select depart ID A, B, C from emp details where salary in. Select max salary from emp details, group by department ID. Using the max function with the group by, this solution group the rows by department and then uses max function to get the max salary for each group. The query looks like this. Select department ID, max salary from emp table, group by department ID. Using window function, this solution uses window function to rank the salaries within each department and then select the rows with rank 1, the highest salary for each department. There are several window functions you can use for this purpose, such as nth value, row number, rank, dense rank. Here is an example query using nth value function. SQL code. Select all from select department ID, salary, nth value, salary 1. Over partition by department ID, order by salary descending as max salary from employee details, where salary is equal to max salary. Note that the specific solution you choose will depend on the structure of your database and the requirement of query. Also make sure to adjust the column and table names in example above to match your own database schema.